So I'd just like to give everyone an update on where the business is at. As Brett said, it was a fantastic year last year. We, a lot happened during the course of the year, and I think lots of really good things happened, especially with Hillgrove and Thalanga. So underlying, operating cash flow of around about $45 million and an underlying EBITDA of nearly $43 million, I think is a fantastic achievement for our business. Again, lots of organic growth options between Thalanga, Herberton and Hillgrove. And I think, really good basket of metals. So copper, lead, zinc are just basically bread and butter everyday metals that people consume, and then having the gold and the silver and the antimony to top it off puts us really in the right space, and we can see how the prices for those commodities have performed over the last 12 months, and they're still pretty healthy at the moment. Having assets in Queensland and New South Wales, Australia is a fantastic place, and it's really good to have an asset base in a really stable jurisdiction, and also with our offtake partners. Glencore and Trafigura are the #1 and 2 smelt trading companies in the world, and it's really great to see them supporting us through our growth phase. So we've just the capital structure of the business, market cap of around about $106 million. At the end of last quarter, we had about $24 million in cash. You can see our financial assets have gone up with just over $18 million after putting an extra $5.4 million into the environmental bond at Thalanga, and no debt. So really, the location of our assets, for me, Thalanga, the copper, lead, zinc, silver, and gold, again, a fantastic asset and great location. We've got, we're mining Far West at the moment. That's got about, 12 to 18 months to go. And then we've got a large resource at Thalanga of 6 million tonnes at over 13% zinc equivalent. So we're just getting Liontown ready as our third mine up there, but there's more to come after that as well. And then Hillgrove, we in the middle of the year, we announced the resource upgrade there, over 7 million tonnes at 4.5 grams gold and 1.2% antimony. And obviously the Herberton exploration opportunity in North Queensland. So we're continuing to produce out of Far West. You would have seen in the recent announcement that this quarter we're a little bit down on production. So what we've seen is some changes in the geotechnical conditions underground. So we've had our engineers and our consultants review that, and their recommendation is to put more cable bolts in and more shotcreting. So we've had to go back into some of the older areas that we've developed, and we're putting in more support. So that's going to take a little bit of time this quarter, and it will impact our production. But I think it's important that we take a bit of a prudent approach here, because we want this mine to be a reliable producer, for the next 12 to 18 months. So from a risk point of view, it's important that we do things right, and we're working through that now, and PYBAR have promised us more resources to help accelerate that program at Thalanga. We're getting ready with Liontown. We've submitted the environmental authority to the DES in Queensland, so hopefully that will go through smoothly and quickly. But nevertheless, there's still other permitting and other regulatory approvals that we do need. So we're working on all the other stuff as well, and also just getting the mine ready. So we're pedaling as hard as we can there, and our aim is to get this thing into production next year. So to hopefully see an overlap between the production of Far West and then Liontown. Hillgroves, the Bakers Creek stockpile, that's pretty much done and dusted now. There's some residual material that we're putting through the plant while we're getting ready for the syndicate underground. So there's a lot of work happening there to get the underground back up and running. Again, early next year, we'd like to see production start coming out of Hillgrove. And we've got, lots of growth targets, between Thalanga, Hillgrove and Herberton. There's lots to explore, lots to drill and lots to grow the business on. Yeah, Thalanga is our main producing asset. Yeah, it's Thalanga's been going from, just over 4 years now. Continuous production, steady production, and up until the end of last quarter, we had 6 consecutive positive quarters out of Thalanga. So I think that's a great testament and great achievement to the team out at Thalanga. So Liontown's going to be our next mine out there. Again, as I said, we're working pretty hard to get this thing online. The resource there is over 4 million tonnes. We're still drilling it. There's going to be drilling happening here for the next 2 years at least, I see. And sort of continuous updating and upgrading. But the drilling is being focused on the shallower areas because we're going to lose those drilling positions when we develop the mine. So it's important that we get those holes in. So we have focused on some of the oxide areas as well. And you would have read in the recent announcement that we've put in the gravity circuit at Thalanga. So we're in the process of commissioning that now, and hopefully, because if you have a look at the grade at Liontown, it's 1.1 grams gold, so we don't want to lose any of that gold. There's over 150,000 ounces of gold here at Liontown, and I think that gravity circuit will help us a lot to maximise the gold recovery of Liontown. So again, for the maintenance guys and the project guys out at Thalanga have done a great job putting that falcon in for very little money, and looking forward to seeing the results of the commissioning. And again, Liontown, it's going to be our largest resource. It's going to be our longest life mine, and beyond Liontown, there are other ore bodies and other assets that we'll turn our attention to. The Mount Windsor volcanics, again, we've been, chugging away, drilling prospects as well as developing new ones. The Coronation gravity target, again, is one of those newer ones that we did some microgravity on earlier this year. It's drill ready now, so we just need to get some agreements in place to get a drill rig out there, but that could be a very, very interesting target for us given the similarities and the proximity to Highway Reward, which was over 6% copper. And again, we've got over 100 targets here. Some are gold, some are base metals. Great location. So I'm confident that as long as we keep drilling here in the Mount Windsors, we're going to have a good mine life and a good supply of ore to the Thalanga plant. So Hillgrove, you've seen the chart there. We've grown the resources. Really, this thing is turning out like Thalanga. The more you drill, the more you find. The lack of drilling and sampling here is just incredible. So and we've been promising to put out an exploration presentation on Hillgrove, and as soon as we get it to a spot where we think it's ready, we discover some more stuff in the archives, and we need to add to it. So we want to put something out that's pretty thorough, and hopefully we'll get something out before Christmas. But yeah, the opportunity and the gaps at Hillgrove are just unbelievable. So I can see us drilling here for a very long time. And again, by hook or by crook, we've got a really good position in antimony metal. The antimony price has shot up, and that's in a really good space at the moment. Again, antimony it's not really an exotic metal, even though it's classified as a critical metal. There's nothing really exotic about it. It's a bread and butter metal used in flame retardants, ammunition, batteries, and some emerging battery technology, which the Ambi battery for stationary storage, long-term storage of energy. So, you know, lots of exciting stuff happening in that space. But for me, this picture, the plan view here, so, you know, the red corridors that you see are our known deposits, our known mines at Hillgrove. But what we're finding is, you know, the potential to link all these things up. And no one's really looked at Hillgrove in this way. So you can see, you know, the projections along strike. So, you know, from the top to the bottom, you know, you're talking about something that's 9 kilometres long. You know, there's a lot of wide open spaces here that haven't been drilled. So you can imagine what our resources would look like, you know, if these things actually link up along strike, but at the same time, they could actually link up, you know, across strike as well. So lots of opportunity here, you know, for me, and this is just focusing, you know, in and around Hillgrove. You know, we've still got another 225 square kilometres that are outside of this. So we've got the whole mineral field to ourselves. There's lots and lots of stuff to explore here. And, you know, it's not rocket science. We just have to, you know, get in there, do the drilling, and do the sampling and keep an open mind. And gradually, I think the jigsaw puzzle will come together. We've currently got 2 drill rigs here. Look, again, I'd like to apologise for the lack of drilling results, but, you know, it's not because we're not drilling and we're not sampling. The assay labs are just taking so long to turn around, and I feel for them because they're all, you know, everyone's throwing core at them. But we will have something before the end of the month, both at Hillgrove and from Thalanga as well. So just be patient with us. You know, we are sort of pushing as hard as we can to get those results, but we will get something out before the end of the month on both operations. But lots and lots of upside here. So yeah. And then really the Herberton project. So again, we've done a lot of work here, getting it drill ready, and really the focus has been on a very small parcel of ground that we've got up there, being the Orient, Prospect and Manham. You know, we've done the magnetics, we've done the IP. There's some big targets here. So you can see some of those chargeable targets are well and truly over 32 milliseconds. So, you know, we really need to get a drill rig up there and start drilling. Unfortunately, I really did wanted to drill this before the wet season, but we just haven't been able to get the resources up there in time to do it. So we'll have to wait until the wet's over. But again, this is one of our highest priority targets to drill, to get up there and put some holes in here, because you know, these are very large, highly chargeable targets in places people haven't looked before, right? This is not, you know, same old stuff. You know, this could be something very, very different. Anyway, so that's really, you know, where we're at. You know, the business has been, you know, had a great 12 months. I know this quarter is going to be, you know, a little bit tough for us, and really, as Brett said, you know, getting resolution on the TCM royalty dispute, I think it's great for us to get resolution on that, and hopefully we can put it behind us before Christmas, and move on. But look, I think you know, in the scheme of things, I think it's a good result for the business to move forward. You know, we're in a great position with Hillgrove and Thalanga. Lots of opportunity, lots of growth ahead of us. And I think we're in the right basket of metals. We've got, you know, great offtake partners with Trafigura and Glencore. Yeah, just looking forward to delivering another fantastic year for our shareholders.